Cosmopolitan. It is time for another edition of Kitchen Science, where I get to combine two of my favorite things, my kitchen and science. So, today we have a fun and very electric day of science planned. We are going to do experiments with static electricity. Let's find out what we need. To mess around with static electricity, you will need a few things that can be found largely in your kitchen. Now, there's one glaring example today. You are going to need a balloon. And most of us don't store balloons in our kitchen. But if you happen to be one of the few who's like me that has a junk drawer that has everything in it, check your junk drawer, because also, if you're like me, there might be a balloon hanging out in there. So look there. Maybe there is a balloon in your kitchen. Otherwise, everything else is stuff you will almost certainly find in your kitchen. Get yourself a paper towel. Get yourself a bag, so the next time that you get cilantro or scallions, keep the produce bag. And get yourself a can. I have a can right here. Balloon, paper towel, produce bag, can. That's all you need. Okay, there is a little bit of preparation that you will need to do with these supplies that we have already discussed. So, for instance, your plastic bag. Oh, I forgot. You need scissors, but I guess I assume everybody has scissors at the ready. So, take your plastic bag and cut a loop out of the middle or off the top of it so that you end up with something that looks like this. So you have basically a plastic, a circle of plastic. Okay, that's prep number one. Prep number two, and this is just because it's silly, take your paper towel and turn it into a ghost. One of the websites where I found some of this stuff was for Halloween, science experiments, and so this makes it a little more Halloween. But we enjoy ghosts around here all the time. So go ahead and cut it into a ghost. You don't have to. If ghosts aren't your bag, then you can just, cut out a shape out of the paper towel, and it could be any kind of shape that you would enjoy. Okay, the last piece of prep. Take your balloon and charge it. Now, I will discuss this in just a second, but basically what you want to do is you want to take it and you want to rub it against your sweater, rub it against your hat, or rub it against your hair. Now, I have old person hair. It's really dry, and I couldn't get a good charge with my hair. When I would take my son's hair or my cat, I would get a great charge. So I'm not sure what's wrong with my hair. So I'm only pointing that out because if you find that it doesn't work well with your own personal hair, maybe try the hair of the family pet. Maybe that would work. It did for me. All right. Time to do some experimenting. As you probably can guess, we're going to do a few different things with static electricity. And I'm going to start with the reason I had you get a can. We're going to make this can magically move without touching it. So this is another one of those situations where science and magic kind of combine, right? Sometimes science is so cool that it's like magic, and sometimes magic relies on science in order to do its tricks. So here, I'm charging up my balloon. And I'm going to put it next to the can, and you'll see the can is rolling toward it until it rolls all the way off the countertop. Woohoo! You can make things move with static electricity. Okay, that's experiment number one. Let's try number two. I have a ghost right here. Let's see if we can make him float, okay? Okay, so I'm laying my ghost down. I will again. Ooh, my cat's behind me. Maybe I should use her. No, she didn't really enjoy it. She's not really a willing participant, I must say. Okay, so this sweater seems to be doing the trick. I've got my balloon charged up. Ooh, ooh. Oh, what? He floated off the countertop. Okay, let's try that. So, and you'll see, sometimes you gotta go back to charge again, It's not the worst thing in the world. It might be that I need to go with the inside of my sweater, so let's try that. Ooh, can you see him moving? Can you see him floating away? Yes, okay. So we made our ghost float. Number 3. This is the coolest one of them all, if we can make it to work. I have to say, multiple times trying this, I had a very hard time making it work. But this is what you're supposed to do. You take this little ring of plastic, this little skinny, light ring of plastic, and rub it against your sweater or your hair or whatever you're using to create that static electricity. Okay, then you rub your balloon, get that thing all charged up too, and let's see if we can make this ring of plastic float. Okay. Okay, it wants to stick to my hand. That's not what I'm going for. Well, there it goes, see? I don't know if you can see that. It wants to float away so much that it wants to stick to me. I don't know if you're going to believe this is working. Can you see it? Can you see it? Okay, I may have to do some fancy editing here to make this visible. Okay. Well, that was marginally successful. I'll see if I can edit that into something that will work. You may wonder what's happening here. This would be the magic of static electricity. Time for some science. All right, it is time for some science. It's time for some science. It's time for some science today. With a balloon. When you rub this balloon on your wool sweater or on your hair, you are creating negatively charged electrons on the surface of the balloon. You are making them gather on the surface of the balloon. When you then put that balloon near the can that we started with, the can is going to have an opposite charge because it hasn't been all charged up with the same negative electrons or the electrons that are from my sweater. So it is going to be drawn toward, because positive and negative attract. So the can gets drawn toward the balloon, which is why the balloon can sort of magically guide the can all over the place. The same exact thing is happening with the ghost. So when the paper towel is being picked up, it's that it is being attracted. It has a positive charge, and it's being attracted to the negative charge of the balloon. Now, you kind of get into another level when you get to the plastic ring, which is super cool. You have charged that up on your sweater or on your hair in the same way that you have charged the balloon up. So both of those two items have negative charges, and negative charges repel each other. So when you put that ring around the balloon and then you sort of guide the balloon around, the ring wants to get away. It is repelled from the balloon. So that's why you can kind of make that plastic ring float in the air. I didn't do it all that well, but I hope you got the flavor of it. But that's how you can try to make it float in the air, by having the two negative charges, or excuse me, the two things that are charged the same, the two negative charges, yes, I was right, they are pushing themselves away from each other. So you either are drawing positive to negative, or you are pushing negative away from negative and having fun with static electricity. See you in a little bit.